Here's a thought I randomly debated with myself. What if oxygen worked like a subscription plan, like in the Lorax? Imagine $9.99 a month just to breathe. The funny thing about this hypothetical is that we take air for granted, but technically it's the most valuable resource we use. Every breath is free, but what if it wasn't? Let's break down the numbers. The average person breathes around 12 to 18 times a minute. That gives us around 21,600 breaths per day. With each breath, you take in around 0.45 liters of average. But the thing is, only 21% of that air is oxygen your body actually uses. Multiply it out, you get 21,600 multiplied by 0.45 multiplied by 0.21. That gives you 2,041 liters of oxygen consumed per person per day. Over a year, that's more than 745,000 liters. Now, oxygen, like buying it, isn't a thought experiment. It's actually real. You can buy it. In Australia, medical oxygen cylinders are priced by size. A D cylinder holds around 2,000 liters and costs roughly $349, and a larger E cylinder holds around 4,800 liters and costs $460. Let's use a D cylinder as our single person subscription and two E cylinders together as a family pack for 4 people. That gives us a realistic baseline for cost. Now, here's where it gets wild. A single person would need one D cylinder a day. That's $349 daily, or about $127,000 a year, just to survive. A family would need two E cylinders daily, which works out to $920 a day, or about $336,000 a year. Now scale that up. If all 8 billion people on Earth had to pay these rates, the oxygen industry would boom instantly to be worth like between 6.7, I'm not even joking, 6.7 times 10 to the power 14 and 1 times 10 to the power $15 annually, making air the most profitable commodity on the planet, far beyond oil, gas, or tech. Of course, this calculation has some quirks. We're assuming oxygen can be neatly sold at a fixed 21% concentration, but that's not really how breathing works. Pure oxygen isn't safe long term, and without nitrogen and trace gases as a carrier, oxygen alone wouldn't even reach the lungs properly. Right now, we also inhale like 7,600 liters of nitrogen every day, even if our bodies don't use it. And if that were part of the subscription package, costs would skyrocket even further. I won't bother crunching those numbers, but just imagine how worse it gets once you start charging for the whole atmosphere. So, what would a pay to breathe world actually look like? Well, first of all, the average family income, around $75,000 a year, wouldn't even cover enough oxygen for one person, let alone a whole household. That means only the wealthy could afford to breathe comfortably, whilst everyone else would be stuck with basic plans that barely keep them alive. You'd see subscription tiers, premium packages for cleaner air, family bundles to keep households alive, maybe even ad supported oxygen for the poor. Inequality would also explode. Black markets would emerge, selling cheap and stolen oxygen. Cities could collapse if entire communities missed their payments, and wars, they'd not be fought over oil, but over the air itself. What's invisible and free today would suddenly become the most valuable and most fought over resource in human history. So next time you take a deep breath, just remember, if capitalism got involved, you might not be able to afford it. Anyway, we'll call it science, and we'll see you in the next one.